the audience, me laughing at me, making jokes about me, making jokes about my future me for being such a fucking idiot. You gotta understand, this is top 10. Top 10. Yeah, that's clever, huh?
Just kidding. I don't want to sleep.
That's what you pay those graphic designers all kinds of money for, right? Oh, what you do?
Genetically modified cybernetic clone. Just kidding. Of a rabbit. Or a beaver. There's some beaver in there somewhere, obviously. Leave it to Bieber. No, not you, Justin. You stay off my boat.
Never be employed again.
I just want to watch the dreams.
Because of the distribution of wealth and the lack of communication
One motherfucker's hiring.
this field has been the last
Lack of communication. I'm communicating right now.
Taco Bell,
components have been developed.
Norm McDonald's, and
Since
Stevenson.
energy is the key to all activity on the face
I told
of
us.
the earth.
I'm pretty
It
sure he
follows
works
that
the
in
night
order
shift
to attain
at
a
Taco Bell.
monopoly of energy, raw
Give her 2
materials,
minutes.
goods, and services,
Open mic
and to
night.
establish
Yeah,
a
what do you want?
system of slave labor. It is necessary to have a first strike capability in the field of economics in order to
What do you mean,
maintain
no
our
beans? You
position.
found a Taco
It
Bell,
is
you know?
necessary that we
want
have
the beans
absolute
taken out?
first knowledge of the science of control
Pull off for
over
your
all
fries.
economic factors and the first experience at engineering the world economy. In order to achieve such
Pretty much
sovereignty,
he's saying what the money
we must
changers
at
are
least
doing
achieve this one
with
and
Bitcoin is
that
the exact
the
same
public
thing
will
they
not
did with
take
gold.
the
So
logical
wake
or
up.
mathematical connection between economics and the
One
other
church,
energy
baby.
sciences or learn to apply such knowledge.
Stop buying
This is becoming increasingly difficult to control because
Star
more and more
Dog
businesses
or
are
Bunny
making
Corn
demands upon their
Coin.
computer programmers
23
to create
Pete
and apply
Davidsons.
mathematical models for the management of those
I messed it up.
businesses.
That sounds about
It is
right.
only
Literally
a
every
matter of
transaction
time
is just
before the new
another
breed of private programmer slash
inflate
economist will
in the
catch on
inflation.
to
My
far-reaching implications of
thoughts.
the work begun at Harvard in
My heart,
1948.
fucking soul.
The speed
That?
with
How
which
is it?
they
That was a
can
loaf of bread.
communicate their warning to the public will largely
Bottom
depend
dollar.
upon how effective
Gee,
we have
400
been at
Looney
controlling
Tune
the
bucks.
media,
That's
subverting
light
Have
years.
any idea
and keeping
better.
the public distracted with matters of no real
how much
importance.
skee ball you have to play to get 400 Looney Tune
On
bucks?
me.
Silent weapons for quiet wars, economics as a social energy science has as a
Bitch
first
accusing me of
objective
farting
the
and
description
not
of the
claiming it.
complex
There
way
he
in
lives.
which any given unit of resources is used to satisfy some economic
I'm done
want.
What makes you think I want to lead a little A red
This
on
first
trail?
general
my
military and
gayness.
industrial logistics known as operations
Leading all the
research.
way to North Korea.
See simplex
Operations
methods of
research.
linear programming.
If anything,
The
Mom, I'm
Harvard
leaving those
Economic
breadcrumbs
Research
out front
Project
your door.
1940 was an extension of the
Sorry,
World
all
War
that
I
treehouse.
This is me trying to get into some
Its purpose was to discover the science
Pirate
of
ship,
controlling
whatever.
an economy. At first, the American economy, and
Most
then
definitely
the
not
world's
classified.
economy.
Not a waste of my
It
time.
was felt that with sufficient mathematical foundation
Some
and
old
data, it would be nearly as easy to predict
plagiarized
and control the
data.
trend of an
Honorary
economy
member.
as to predict and control the
To a
trajectory of a
movie.
projectile. Such has proven to be the case. Moreover, the
Bury,
economy has
bury,
been
and
transformed
carry.
into a guided missile on target.
Oh
The
really?
immediate aim of the Harvard project was
This
to
bitch is going
discover
hard,
the
y'all hear
economic
this?
structure, what forces change that
Attorneys at
structure,
third law.
how the behavior of the structure can be predicted,
We
and
all
how
have
it can be
massive hands.
manipulated. What was needed was a well-organized knowledge of the mathematical structures
We
and
have
the
never
relationships of
lost a
investment,
Well,
production,
Barry and Perry have never
distribution,
lost a case.
and consumption.
I've lost
To
every
make a
single
short
case.
story of it all, It was discovered that an economy obeyed the same laws as electricity and that all of the mathematical theory and practical
Currency.
and computer know while
Currency.
for the electronic field could be directly applied in the study of economics. This discovery was not openly declared, and its more subtle implications were and are kept a closely guarded secret.
Abreast?
For
You keeping them abreast?
in an economic model, human life is measured in
blew them
dollars,
white folk
and
out
that
of the
the
water.
electric spark generated
Within
when
all
opening a
dollars,
switch
no
connected to an
cents.
active inductor is
From the east.
magmatically
Or
analogous.
is it? Is the
To the
east really the
initiation
east?
of
Or
war,
is it the west? Or
the
is it
greatest
the north,
hurdle which
south?
theoretical
Using big
economists
words that I don't
faced
know
was
the
the
definition
accurate
of. I'm
description
assuming
of the household
spiral.
as an
you're
industry.
disrespecting me.
This is a challenge because consumer purchases are a matter of
What
choice,
I could imagine
which in
only
turn
being
is
a highway
influenced
to
by
hell
income, price,
goes
Oh.
right
and
through the
other
earth
economic factors.
and into
This hurdle
China's
was cleared
butthole.
in
Calling
an
you
indirect
broke
and
because
bum.
statistically
China,
approximate way by an application of shock testing to determine the current characteristics.
I don't even know my
called
past,
and
present
technical
tenses anymore.
coefficients
They all
of the
blend together.
household industry. Finally,
Access
because
denied.
problems in theoretical
I
electronics
wasn't very
can
good
be
at speaking
translated very easily
And
into
for
problems
all of
in
this, and now I'm
theoretical
being expected
electronics
to
and
blast
the
out
solution
1,000
translated
fucking syllables
back again. It follows that only a book of language
at 200 dick
translation
bongs per
and
second.
Back out
definition needed
20%.
And per minute. I'm
Zoom
sorry.
in 20 degrees.
Who knows how many
Advanced economics
Back
are
up.
necessary.
40
It
degrees.
greatly simplifies
Zoom in 20.
project security.
I
Industrial
will
diagrams.
teleport.
Silent
I am the
weapons
Blade
for
Runner.
wars and
Having
ideal
I did
industry
a
is
24
defined
hour.
as a device which receives value from other industries in several forms and converts them into one specific product for sales and distribution to other
Jerk
industries.
and drive
It
down
has several
the
inputs
yellow
and
brick.
one
Like a
output.
hydra.
What the public normally thinks of as
A
one industry is
mercantiling
really an industrial
hydra.
complex, where several
Interesting.
industries under one roof
What are they
produce
selling?
one or more products. The pure single output industry can be represented
Dildos.
over simply by circuit block as
Those are built
follows.
upon
The
my
flow
You
of
can,
anger.
as you
products
say.
from
Yeah.
industry number one, supply to industry number two, demand
I
is
don't really
denoted
quite
by
know the answer for these
112.
people either.
The total
Well,
flow out of
damn, it's a
industry
beaver.
K is denoted by sales,
I
etc.
know that, well, I
A
do know they
three
prefer
industry
little people,
network can be diagrammed as follows.
but this little man was a
The node is
dwarf.
a symbol of collection and distribution of
He
flow.
was selfish.
Node number 3 receives from industry number 3
He
and
could not
distributes to
open the door for,
industries
like, he
number
literally
1
could not
and
open the
number
door for
3.
me. He slammed the
If
door in my
industry
face.
number 3
Oh, so like a
manufactures
pyramid.
shares,
Find your own fucking
then the
gold.
flow from industry number 3 back
Broke
to
my nose.
industry number 3 simply indicates that industry number 3 is using part of its
Trinity,
own
baby.
Another story.
Trinity of
For
business.
as office furniture.
In San Diego.
Therefore, the flow may be summarized by the equations. Page 13. Silent weapons for quiet wars. 3 industrial classes. Industries fall into 3 categories
Yes,
or
that
classes
one I
by
was
type of output.
Brilliantly.
Class number 1. Capital resources. Class number 2. Goods,
Expertly
commodities for use.
gaslit by the
Dissipative.
entire
Class number 3.
town.
Services. Action
Whilst
of
I was
population.
standing
Class
over
number
very
1.
bright
Industries exist at 3 levels.
gas station.
1. Nature.
Like,
Just kidding,
Sources
folks.
of energy
Just
and
reminding
raw
you, I'm
materials.
sitting on gold
proceeded
mine.
to even
Government.
wait for the rest of the
Printing
town to
of
show up
currency
before
equal
they
to the gross
initiated
national
the raid,
product (GNP) and extension of currency in
which
excess of
they all
GNP.
began to start catcalling me, asking me to take my clothes off. No one asked me to, if they could help me
Thank you
fix
for that, man.
my
Very
immediate
informative.
problem, which was it being 2 o'clock in the flipping morning, and I only have one headlight.
I didn't really like your tone during a lot of it, but the information definitely made up for it.
It was at that point where I said, fuck this little,
Thank you.
well, I don't want to say wannabe, because
Give it
pretty
up
much
for
all of California right now is really
Gretchen,
wanting to be
the
Texas. I
PDF
mean,
reading,
New York, I mean,
aspiring
what is it, Spain? I don't
stand
fucking
up
know. Y'all's classifications are really gay. By gay, I mean
Artificial
happy, not homosexual.
intelligence.
I don't know how you
comedic
YouTubers do
technician.
this
I'm sorry, that's what it wants me to call it. I don't know.
You got
It
Susan
wants me
and
to call it
Norm
the
breathing down your
comedy
back.
technician. Since,
Say cock one more time.
which, you know,
Yeah.
that applies.
Tell him
I think we could stream like
the
that a
jerk
little
off on
bit.
that ficus thing. That was funny. That was funny last year, Norm. You know how
It giving
many
you,
daisies, ficuses, and violets
perhaps
I
by
have
name
jerked
even.
up on since then?
Do you have a name
I
in
honestly
mind?
don't know, but I would imagine that I have probably jerked off, or there has been some semen
Corky.
that has
Well,
landed
that's a funny
in the
name.
vicinity of a flower. That's all I'm going to say. And that makes me sound perverted when I was trying to make a funny underdog
You say
joke
you have
about winning an
33
unwinnable
chromosomes?
competition. Using
That's interesting.
using anti-intimidation techniques. Techniques.
Very interesting.
People asking me, "The fuck are you doing back here?"
Anyway, I'm
I simply say that I forgot my car keys,
chain
and
or
they
leg,
say,
whichever is attached
"Okay,
to your
you can
torso.
find them and
a
you get the
chain or
fuck
leg,
outta here."
Or both.
Before we call North
Just yanking
Carolina
it.
on your ass.
Kinda, not really. But sorta. Because people need to
Now, mind you,
Start
this was a while ago, so I was
waking
still
up to
very
the fact
confused
that-
about the whole classification thing. And I was like, "What? Get out of town. You are not going to bring an entire state to come whoop my
This
ass."
shit's gonna
No.
still hurt pretty bad, even if you're
I had a hard enough time getting
balling it up in the metaverse.
all of these
Metaverse.
Parisians
Meta. Wait.
in duels
Metaverse? Doesn't meta mean
gaslight
dead?
me at a fucking gas station as I looked like a tool duct taping a LED flashlight through
No, it wasn't. That was a hypothetical. Yes, it means
nowhere near imitating or looking like a legitimate
dead. It
headlight.
means underneath.
My face
Just like
Was
a crypt for
beaming.
your coin. Or a
much brighter than that flashlight.
tombstone ledger that you place all of your debts on top of, sealing you in, preventing you from ever.
All of this started because a certain
Possibly
MC
getting a consolidation loan
dared me
from,
to
from Sun Kid and Finance Group Co.
artificize
If that's
is that a
not
word?
shell company, then
Artistically apply
I recommend you guys hire a new accountant that happens to be 1/8
a double
Jewish.
reverse uninversion technician on the water
I
tower.
might say I'm only a little Jewish.
Apparently people in that hemisphere do not like
Believe it or not, that was one of the first jokes I ever wrote.
hooligans
I wrote that joke when I was
or
4.5
rabble
years old.
rousers or fucking nerds.
Pretty much from that moment on,
They
I
liked it.
considered a masterful
Shoot at
comedic
those
genius, possibly the
And yes, I was almost.
illegitimate
Yes, I
son
was
of
almost
Norm
shot multiple times.
MacDonald Sinsphere.
That's just when I had to disrobe myself and hop into Zardosh's
I don't
mouth.
know if you guys have heard of him.
Fly
Kind
away.
of, he talks like this a little bit, and he pauses and
The next century and nothing but
waits for you to start talking to interrupt you,
4-inch loincloths.
and laughs at you. I miss you, Dad.
I sure hope Sean Connery is a time
I don't
lord.
actually think Norm Macdonald is my dad.
He
Nick
should be.
Spearson's Finn. I don't actually think that
He deserves it. I think maybe more than Ian Fleming. Is that his name? Ian Fletcher? And again, Finnegan's recycling bin? Emptied out by a Mr. Anton Wilson?
Pretty good idea who my dad is. My Faja.
Object. What do you mean object? He's your defendant. You don't object your own defendant. I object. I want to call this whole thing off. Sir, you cannot call a felony court case off.
I am.
I just did.
Such a skeptic. Now to the point.
Well, turns out this man has an extremely effective bird warriors.
I ask myself if I know who my father is, I seriously have to stop,
good
pause,
bird, bad bird,
collaborate, and listen.
Decent strategy. Exhibiting power through massive hands. I'll allow it.
Hundreds, if not thousands
Case
of years of
dismissed.
ancestor intuition and memory.
Unless prosecution, can come up with some really fantastical shit to try to cover that up.
I do remember being just a young cave lad growing up in...
I made a certain promise to
a beautiful cave
my father,
in the south of France.
I have no doubt God is my father.
You may have seen it.
He would not mind.
Great example of quite possibly what could be the oldest.
I just got myself into quite a kerfluffle.
Finger
got wrapped up in my optical device.
Painted and caressed set of...
Okay, I totally forgot what I was talking about. Norm, you remember? Nah, I don't remember.
Now you can imagine the excitement when
sounding about
huge tracts of land were discovered.
Texas being California or some shit. I don't know. Good fucking thing I'm dead, huh? Because this shit's kind of rough, isn't it? It's gonna cost you 2 David Spades.
Archaeological.
You hear that, Mr.
Archaeological.
If that is
crew,
your...
absolutely lost their minds.
Real name?
They couldn't believe how the set of...
You know my name. I doxed myself 5 years ago so I could avoid all this shit. Oh, you're gonna dox me? You're gonna dox the fact that I have a
jiggle and bounce.
We're going to be honest.
Firelight.
Rather much larger.
One might even
than
say
average penis, brain, heart.
They could feel the flame
hands
licking at them.
Those are the only things on my body that I can think anyone would want big ones of. I could have kept going. Big ass ears. I got big fucking nose. My big old buck teeth that have taken and
I was stuck in
filled out
cave.
Quite nicely. Fuck, Norm, I'm sorry, I forgot to play
behind a hibernating bear due to my own poor.
I told you guys, terrible. I'm gonna get fired.
Finding a suitable canvas to make real this.
Oh.
prehistoric tales
What was that, in Texas somewhere?
of which will be one day featured on Modern Marvels and or become the where are we at now, the 11th or 12th wonder, right? 12th after the megalithic dick in front of the Vatican and the Mall of Washington D.C. That's right. They both count those as one.
You're killing it, Norm.
2 global capitals, 1 megalithic dick obelisk. Makes you really wonder what they were.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some real fancy
They were talking
editing to
about
make this
when they
work.
were in this New World Order think
You
tank.
do the editing. I'm tired of doing the editing, bro.
I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah,
if
that's
this
what
was
happens.
not a
Yeah, that's what happens when you do the editing. We lose
social
it
deprivation tank.
right into the cycling
These
bin.
motherfuckers were just tripping, coming up with some really off the
And
wall.
you get all frazzled and start
and
worrying
they're,
that
to be honest, quite advanced.
you've lost sight
thinking
of land.
for a man who still wears a fish
So I
hat
have to go upstairs and turn my
and a
lighthouse on. And guide you into your
archaic,
bowling lane.
if not
Keep leaving. I don't
solely
think it's me.
seemingly
It's,
developed to
yeah, it might be Satan. If I'm being honest. He likes fucking with you a
operate
lot.
as much like a
I wish he'd cover some
organized
fucking
criminal
slack.
syndicate known as democracy.
Might be
Fucking
hearing
chill out. I can
double,
already hear people
Perhaps
yelling
even
at me.
triple
What are you fucking calling me?
audible size
You,
and or groans.
What are you, one of those?
Yeah.
What are those
We've gone very frustrated
nudists?
since
Those
3
world
o'clock in the morning.
nudists? What if I told you I was?
Our time.
Well,
I
I
don't know
told you
what
I would
fucking
be a
time
lot
it is
happier
where you're
if-
from.
We just didn't have to worry about clothes. And the temperate zone was always optimum for frolicking in the nude.
About time. Jesus.
Come on, people. Nude isn't just for the beaches anymore. Let's all just grow up and give each other that head nod as we pass each other in all subs. And
Hey, you wanna fucking turn it down a little bit?
just saying, let's see where this takes us. You know?
Hey.
If you just absolutely refuse to go full nude, we will have little handkerchiefs. 4x4 square handkerchiefs.
That's objection. I'm sorry.
Selfishly
Are you editing a video or are you in court right now?
God-given
I'm kind of afraid this might be both. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the death sentence.
tools. Now, if you're gonna tell me that
It's Nancy Pelosi taking a shit on the street the other day.
you're gonna tell me some guy in the Vatican, no less, was wearing a blazer like it's got authority.
What's weird about that too is they have enough
Sit there and
homeless
tell me that
population.
I
They
piddle
could
my
hire
paddle.
homeless people to clean up after themselves. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm gonna burn in eternal damnation. You know, I don't know about you. The last time you piddled your own paddle.
Could be
but
worse. I've got friends in low
These,
places.
How do you say, stimulations in certain areas.
Pretty sure they're running away from you, bro.
On our fucking reproductive organs, people. I mean, come on. You wanna know my honest theory about it is that God gave us that ability to
It's now the third time I'm watching you do this.
self-regulate our
Waiting for you
reproductive
or an arm
systems,
to divulge.
as well as
The next
giving us
cipher.
a brief respite from escaping saber-toothed fucking tigers,
In this metaverse where
Bears,
motherfuckers keep clicking
mega
links
beavers
that you didn't click on.
in the wild. You know,
Ah,
I would imagine that some of these cave persons
how do you know?
might, you know, just be having a really rough couple weeks. Fortnite, not the video game, the measurement of time.
You will own nothing.
And you know,
you will
he's
own nothing.
dehydrated.
You will
He didn't have much food,
be fine.
but he did
We'll always get
have
by. We are a resilient,
a small
much of a hybrid.
with a section of shade under it, just big enough for himself.
Get right. I thought
And
you make him
he
wait.
was really stumped at what to do next.
That one was me.
So
I'm
he
sorry.
said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna piddle my paddle. And turned
Standing
out
on my hands.
probably improved his entire week, if we're being honest. So I'm not using code or double speak or anything like this. I'm just theorizing as to how these tools and machinations that exist within our body to
Fuck.
remain very, very firm, yet still malleable enough to very nearly produce enough thrust.
That
by
sounds like a
twirling it
familiar
around like a
jingle.
helicopter to. I can't prove any of this, but it
Dick
feels
tattooed
like
right
last time
up
I
by
played
his
this, I may have
nose.
levitated for a brief 2-3 seconds, which I don't know if
Objection.
you noticed, but in that state of mind,
Sit
2
down.
3 seconds can
Apologies, Your Honor.
be a lifetime.
Are you sure you want to continue representing yourself? Absolutely.
Moving on. Like, into what? What are we moving on into after that? I don't know. Should we go into the... Yikes. Where do we go from here? Like, that's clearly above Schmeinerschmelben. 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 11-9. Depending on which fucking hemisphere you live in. I'd like to get around to discussing one of my favorite topics of research
Then make it.
lately, which is that the current power structure of quote unquote Jew absolute falsity, and they are
Yeah, it's about Parkinson's.
a
Yeah.
group or race of people who travel around Europe usurping everything. Just willy-nilly taking whatever. Don't matter if you're a Georgian,
Come on, North.
gypsy. I don't really care if
And what do we get? A guy who just incited a bunch of erections.
I don't really care or seem to care. People know that they're totally full of shit and are operating under false pretenses.
See?
And
Same page.
deception. Because my current understanding and research into this topic, which is,
Papa?
you know, if I'm being honest, you know, I'm not the most
Oh.
based and
Will you be my
thorough
papa?
researchers out there. But I do have the ability to read something and pretty much immediately
Now, you're not bald. I'm not
through
bald.
my own high levels of
Baldness?
instinct, empathy, awareness, ancestral memory. Whether or not something is true, half true, totally full of shit. And
You edit that guy out of the laugh track?
I'll just say the lion's share, probably 89%, is total shit. So you can imagine my surprise.
About 911%.
Something and find it to
100%. 100,000%.
even smell halfway like shit, and turn out to smell quite pleasant.
No bin Ladens involved.
Soul ringing the true
Oh,
triangle bell or xylophone,
fucked your best friend.
bing, whichever you prefer. I personally prefer xylophones. Just something about
Bring it on.
banging on a rainbow that interested me growing up. Has nothing to do with gays, any agenda having to do with sexuality or politics or anything like that. It had to do with bright colors, cool sounds, and the fact that I had a stick in my hand that allowed me to do it, meaning I was in control. No one else can influence how I put this seemingly unattractive and, to be honest, quite annoying sound wherever I fucking wish. So if you don't like a singular rogue cowbell coming out of nowhere and unsettling your comfortability and security, you can go right on outside
That
and
guy up.
cowbell fuck yourself.
Not you, Dorm,
Okay.
your son.
Alright. It's like, I'm pretty sure, like, have we not gotten past this point already? I'm rubber, you're glue.
I love you. Ah!
Stupid shit that comes out of your mouth bounces right off of me and onto you. Nanny nanny doo doo. didn't sound nearly as good as it did in my mind using the language that I wanted to, that I initially popped into my brain. Sounded good, and then on execution, sounded just not great. Sounded just about as I would expect. One man trying to start a brawl with himself. And let me tell you, there's been a lot of shit talked these last few days. I'm gonna be honest, kind of took me off guard initially, but after constantly seeing how amicable and humble and just downright a real good sport all around. I don't know how the other half feels about this half who was paying him a compliment, but he is so fucked up and damaged that he might have already dug a new tunnel to Gartha. And if I know him, he will try to change the name of this internal city. No, listen to me, I hear what you're saying, Buddha, but it's just Gartha. I can't help but think about Garth Brooks every time I say Gartha, and I don't particularly like to think about Garth Brooks as much as you might think I would. But let's just put it like this: I'm writing a rap song about a hip-hop song about Garth Brooks going to Agartha to play a I can't even say it. Play a semblance of what some other people call a genre of music. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to argue with you. So I have a lot of optimism for. I believe his name is Jimmy or Jesse Stewart or something like that. A real shit kicking cowboy of the pigment of the skin. You have a higher melanin count.
Funny shit.
Shout out. You know who. And all those wild, wacky, crazy things you do.
I felt it.
Sorry if I sound a little agitated. It's because I am. I haven't had my daily allowance cheese sandwich. Blood sugar might be a little low. And no matter what I do, this
Doppler day.
White bread will not put cheese in between itself.
That's pushing some limits.
So,
thank you. Real endurance.
Can I leave it at that? I'm not sure if I told you this morning, but it's 9:57. May 26th, 2039. Peace out. Fuck you, Rick.
Janet got lost. Pretty sure we just saw Janet in a wig. That's what.